So sit up straight. Press your fingertips down, lengthen through your side waist, side chest. Move your arm bones back to bring your shoulder blades into your back. From your pubis to your navel, lift up. Keep that lift as you release your hands to your thighs and close your eyes. Descend your thighs. Balance your shoulders directly over your hips. Soften your neck and throat. Release your jaw. Rest your tongue into the base of your mouth. Take slow, even breaths. And then gently open your eyes. All right, so I'm gonna sit a little bit lower. So everyone sit in cross legs if you're able, and sit as low as you can comfortably. Then take your arms forward, lift your arms up, rotate to your right. Take your left hand down outside your knee, take your right hand down behind, press down with your right hand, lift up. Exhale, pull with your left hand and turn. Bring your shoulder blades into your back, pull with your left arm, and as you pull with your left arm, use that to push your left shoulder blade more and more into your back. Then return to the front. Take your arms forward, inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, turn to your left. Take your right hand down, left hand down behind. Press down with your left hand to lengthen up. Pull with your right hand to turn. As you pull with your right hand to turn, use that to bring your right shoulder blade more and more into your back. Then return to the center. Take your left hand on the floor next to your left hip. Lift your right arm up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come over to the side. Now as you come to the side, press down with your left hand to push your right buttock into the floor. Come back out. Switch sides. Press down with your left hand, push, or press down with your right hand, push your left buttock into the floor, and come over to the side. Come back to the center. Bring your hands forward, lift your chest. Walk your hands as far forward as possible. Walk your hands over to the right. Come back to the center. Walk your hands over to the left. Come back to center. Walk your hands back in. Take them around behind. Press both hands into the floor. Lift your chest. Look up to the ceiling. And come back to center. Now change the cross of your legs. There you go again. Lift your arms up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn to your right. Take your left hand down, your right hand down behind. Pull with your left hand to turn. Push with your right hand to lengthen. Come back to center. Lift your arms up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn to your left. Bring your right hand down behind. Press down with your left hand to lift up. Pull with your right hand to turn more and more. Return to the center. Take your right hand on the floor, lift your left arm up. Whoops. Other way, left hand on the floor, right arm up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come over to the side. Maybe you can come down a little further. You can come down as far as you wish, but you have to keep your right buttock grounded. Return to the center. The other side, inhale, lift up. Exhale, come over to the side. Keep your left buttock grounded. Return to the center. Walk your hands forward. And then over to the right. Come to the center and to the left. Return to the center. Walk your hands back in. Take them around behind. Press down with your hands. Lift up. And back up. Stretch your legs out. All right. Place your hands on the floor, getting ready for downward facing dog. So come onto your hands and knees. Spread your hands well. Tuck your toes underneath, lift your hips high. Press your thighs back. Press your hands forward. Kathy, lift your heels again. Yes, that's better. Stretch the backs of your knees. Then walk your hands back towards your feet, fold forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands on your hips, elbows to the ceiling. Inhale, come up. All right, so we're gonna do some shoulder stretching. So if you'd like to have a strap for Gomukhasana, have that nearby. All right, but I'm gonna make it a little more interesting if you choose. So if you want, you can do all the shoulder stuff. You can't see my feet. So I'm just going to show my foot, and then I'm going to turn the camera on, and then you'll be able to see my shoulders. Standing on a block. So if you stand on a block, you want your feet level with each other, not like this, or out to the side. So stand on your right foot. You could also do this if balance is a challenge. You could put one toe down on the floor or on the block or whatever. But this will work your outer hips in a different way. So find your balance. And then take your arms around behind, press your palms together, roll your shoulders back, and then turn your fingers towards the ceiling. If that's going okay, bring your hands further up your back, press your palms together so that there's pressure underneath or between the index finger pads, base of the index finger, pressing together. Keep your right quadricep engaged in whatever position you're in. You can keep your left quadricep engaged as long as your knee isn't bent. Then keep your right hand where it is. Release your left hand. Turn the back of your hand to face your back, or the palm facing away from you, however you like to think of it. See if you can ooch it up a little higher. Lift your left arm up, bend at the elbow, and either reach back for your opposite hand, the strap, or just press your hands into your back. Then release your arms. Extend your arms downward, like Tadasana. And then try to bring your palms towards each other. But keep your arms straight. Then release that side. So change sides. I'm gonna turn around the other way. It's because it feels weird talking to a door. All right. So stand on your left foot. Then bring your hands around behind, fingers pointing down. Then take your fingers pointing up. If that's okay, bring your hands between your shoulder blades as much as possible, or even at the base of your neck. Press the base of the index fingers against each other. Roll your shoulders back. Now keep your left hand where it is, but turn the palm to face away from you. Lift your right arm up. Take your right arm back, bend at the elbow, and reach for the other hand even if you don't reach it. So either interlock your hands, press your hands into your back, or reach for the strap. Then slowly release your arms. Take your arms beside like Tadasana, and then a little bit further back and towards each other. As close towards each other as you can get. I can't do this one very well. But you're keeping your arms straight. So if you bend your elbows, it makes it something else. All right, and then release down. Come onto your hands and knees. Then, as if you were going to do headstand, place your elbows on the floor, interlock your fingers, stretch your wrist forward, press your forearms into the floor. Keep that. Tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips up. So sometimes this is called dolphin, sometimes this is called headless headstand. Dog with the elbows down, you know, whatever you want to call it. As you press your forearms into the floor, you're moving the weight back towards your feet. Bend your knees, come down. Change the interlock of your fingers. Press your forearms into the floor. Tuck your toes underneath. Lift your hips up into the air. Press your arms down and forward, just like you would press your palms down and forward in downward facing dog. And then if you need more, you can walk your feet in. That's more hamstring. If you want more work, you can walk your feet towards each other and lift one leg up. And then change legs. And then bend your knees, rest down into child's pose. if you have a strap, get it. If you don't have a strap, see if you can find something that will work as a strap, something pretty long. So a man's tie would work. So you're gonna sit in Virasana. So knees together, feet apart, either side of the hips. I push my calves back and sit between my heels, like this. And I'm sitting on a block. You don't have to. You can sit on 4 blocks. Be pretty unsteady. So what I'm doing there, I should explain, is I'm pulling the skin of my shins forward. Sometimes that helps release the knee. If you still feel pain in your knee, put something behind your knees and sit on that. Okay. If you do what I did, which is be really close to a wall behind you, don't do that. I think everyone on the screen looks okay. I'm gonna do the hardcore, just straight on the floor. There we go. All right. Grab your strap. Hold it between your arms. Pull on the strap until your arms are taut, and then lift your arms up. All right. Now you're gonna have to decide how tight the strap needs to be, or how loose the strap needs to be, how long it needs to be to take your arms behind you. Still pull on the strap, keep your chest lifted. And then slowly lower it down toward your hips. Lift your arms again. So that area that is the most difficult, stay there. That pretty much could be said for any yoga pose. Lift your arms all the way back up. One more time. Pull on the strap. Slowly take your arms back. Find the place of discomfort. That's it. It's probably straight back. Then lower the arms all the way down. Take a breath there. Tighten or loosen the strap as needed. And then come halfway up, or wherever it is. Try to keep your head lifted rather than looking down at the ground. Or don't even try that. Do that. I don't think anyone has to look at the ground. And lift your arms up. And release it down. You can rotate your shoulders a few times. Oh, one more thing. So I'm going to show in front of me so you can see what my hands are doing, since this is a video. And it's hard to see these. So normally we hold on to the strap like this or like this. So I want your thumbs on the same side as your index finger. We do this with the, for those that have come to my class, we do this with the blanket, but we're gonna do it with the strap this time. So then we're gonna turn our hands towards each other. I'm gonna show here. And then we're gonna roll in like this. All right, so we're gonna start here. You're gonna lift your arms up. Pull on the strap. Then turn the palms towards each other and pull on the strap. Then turn the palms towards the floor and pull. And you might feel a stretch in the this part of the arm. And then bring your hands down. All right, place all that to the side. Come onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips high. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step your feet towards each other. Lift your right leg straight up. Press more with your left hand as you lift your right leg up. So you're not leaning to one side. Straighten that leg, Bob. Yeah. Then lower that leg down. Lift your left leg up. Press more with your right hand. Lower that leg down. Walk your feet forward. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Stand Tadasana. We're going to go for a couple of standing poses. So Parshvakonasana and Virabhadrasana 1 and Utkatasana. So stand, I'm going to face to the side, but you're good, you can stand anyway. So stand with your feet together. Squeeze your legs together. Place your hands on your hips. Roll your shoulders back. And then from your pubis to your navel, lift up. Keep that lift. Bend your knees. Keep that lift. Bend your knees some more. Now your chest may come forward a little bit, but keep the lower abdomen in so you're not sticking out like that. And stand back up. All right, now lift your arms straight up. Urdhva Hastasana. Pull your abdomen in, bend your knees. Extend through your fingertips. Pull your abdomen back. We come down a little more. And press through your feet. Come all the way up. Release your arms. All right. If you need blocks for side angle pose, have blocks. Start in Tadasana. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Take your arms and legs wide. You can jump or step. Turn your left leg all the way out. Turn your right leg in slightly. Bend your right leg. Virabhadrasana 2. There you go. Now, in Virabhadrasana 2, move your right knee towards the little toe side, maybe. You should be able to see your big toe. So if you can't see your big toe, you need to move your right knee to the little toe side. And then move your buttock as far forward, your right buttock as far forward as possible. Take your right hand down to the block or floor. Take your left hand to your hip. Now you have something to press into. So press into your arm. And when you press into your arm, you'll feel your right glute engage. Move forward. Keep that. Then press down through the outside of your left foot to move your left thigh back. Take your left arm up. Turn the palm towards your head. And then take it over your head. Rotate your chest. Look towards the ceiling. Lift your left arm up. Pull from your left leg, come all the way up. Turn your left toes, or your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Or your whole leg, really. Bend your left knee. Look down and see if you can see the big toe side of your foot. Then move your left buttock forward. And don't do this. All right, now we're gonna do that. Come over to your left side, take your right hand to your hip. You don't have to use a block, I'm just using a block. Now, press your knee against your arm and use that to move your left buttock forward. Then take your right arm up, turn your palm towards your head and take it over your head. From there, rotate your chest towards the ceiling, straighten that top arm. Yes. Then lift your right arm up, pull from the right foot, inhale, come up, turn your toes to the front, step your feet together. All right, then take them about sticky mat width apart, fold forward, grab hold of the opposite elbow, and rest there.
Did we do both sides already?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta catch up.
All right, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. Stand with your feet together. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Take your legs apart. Turn your palms up. Lift your arms. Turn your right leg all the way out. Turn your left leg in. So now your hips face the short side of your mat. Press down with your left heel as you bend your right leg. Bend your right leg as deeply as you can, keeping your back leg straight. Lift your chest by lifting your hands further into the air. And then straighten your front leg. Turn your toes forward, turn your legs forward. Inhale. With your exhalation, turn your left leg all the way out. Turn your right leg in so your hips, again, face the short side of your mat. Press down with the outside of the right foot to keep your right leg straight as you bend your left leg. Lift your arms to lift your chest. Then straighten your left leg, turn your feet forward. Release your hands to your hips. Fold forward for Ardha Padottanasana. Walk your hands back. Rest your head down. All right, walk your hands forward, lift your chest. Place your hands on your hips. You might need to heel toe in a little bit. And then come all the way back up. Okay. So find a wall. Place your hands into the wall. Your hips back towards the center of the room. If you don't have a wall, you could use a couch. Yeah. Yes. Feet together. Put the weight on your left foot, lift your right leg straight back. Roll your right hip down. Kathy. Yes. Not too high, Sopo. A little lower. There we go. Higher, Bob. That's good. Look. All right, take that foot down. And lift the other leg up. Roll the left hip down. That's it, Chad. Yeah. A little lower with the foot, Kathy. Yes. Harder to do with the couch. You can even, right underneath the cushions, you could put your hands there and push down and lift your chest. Straight arms. Yes, like that. Yeah. All right, lower that leg down. Stand up. All right. You could repeat that, or you could do it the other way up. So you put your hands on the floor, legs on the wall, and lift the leg up. You get to choose. You can go off camera. Yes. Straighten your arms as much as possible. Yes, that's it, Bob. And I think it's your left arm is a little wider than your right, but you could have both of them wider or both of them narrower. You could try both. Kind of like we did Friday. Sopo, your top leg is going too far back. There, little between those two, yeah. When you get tired, you come down. And then you go back up. All right, come all the way down. belly. And come onto your elbows. Yes. All right. Then take your left arm across your body. So it looks like this. And then bend your right knee. Reach back and grab your right foot. Push your right foot towards the right buttock. Or actually onto the outside of the right buttock. Like it was doing Virasana. Then try to keep the leg there as much as possible as you let go. And bring your hands down again. Straighten your right leg. Bend your left leg. Oh, take your right arm across your body, bend your left leg. Reach back, grab your left foot. Bring it down next to your left hip. You'll get a little more stretch if you push your hips towards the floor. This is an internal push. I really don't know how to describe it except that I can do it. So it's somewhat engaging the hamstring of the bent leg and the buttock and pushing it towards the floor. Then keep the foot as close to where it is as possible. Bring both arms down. Release that leg. First leg again. Bend your right leg, all right, so if you want more of a stretch, keep your left hand where it is, rather than taking it across. You just have a better balance taking it across. Reach back, grab your right foot. Then if you want more, you straighten or walk in that other arm. At the same time, press your hips into the floor. Come down or switch. I'm not going to do that other part. Switch sides. Bring your left foot in. Maybe come up, maybe not. And then come down. All right, so when we were doing the shoulder work, we did kind of odd thing where I'll show from the side. We took our arms like this. So we're gonna do that here in Salavasana or Shalavasana. I never say it right. I always put an M in there and there is not an M. My teacher probably does it too. You make the same mistakes your teacher does. All right, so locust pose. So engage your quadriceps, push your hips towards the floor, lift your chest up, lift your arms up, and try to bring your arms towards each other. Then lift your legs up. This is a good pose to increase your timings on. In other words, if you're timing yourself in any of the poses, which is pretty much what I do every time, is to see how long you can stay in this pose. Come down. Roll your thighs in. Lift your quadriceps up. Push your hips towards the floor, lift your chest, lift your arms, bring your arms towards each other, lift your legs. Come back down. I don't know if you guys can hear the skin coming off the mat like that. I'm sweating a little bit. All right, bend both knees. Dhanurasana. Grab both feet. All right. So you can still get that same action in Chaturanga where you're trying to bring your arms towards each other. It engages the tricep. All right. Then lift your chest as much as you can without using your legs. Lift your legs as much as you can without using your arms. And then use your legs to lift your chest and your arms to lift your legs and come up into Dhanurasana. Come back down. I'm just gonna show something real quick. So you will have more power if you flex your foot. Now the pose, as you do this, because one day you're gonna reach back and grab your toes this way rather than this way. But for today, flex your feet after you grab your ankles. So you're here, flex your feet, all right? So assume the position, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest as much as it will go without using your legs. Lift your legs with the strength of your legs. And then without flexing your feet just yet, lift as high up as you can. Then flex your feet and see if you get more power in your legs to push back to lift your chest. Come down. Sit up. Sit on your shins for Ustrasana. So if you want a blanket under your shins, now's the time to get it. All right, come up to kneeling. All right, if you want a blanket or a bolster on top of your ankles, now is also the time to get that. Press your shins into the floor. Take your elbows, actually, let's do it this way. Take your arms back and then try to squeeze them towards each other. And as you squeeze your arms towards each other, that engages your tricep, but it also lifts your chest. And can release your neck some. So if you have neck issues like I do, this is a good thing to do that I should do more often. All right. Then with that muscularity of the arms going back, bring your hands to your hips and push your hips down as you lift your chest more. So lift up higher and higher. And then start to arc back and reach down for your bolster, your heels. And once you're comfortable, take your head back. But once your hands reach your heels, your work is not done. You still have to press your shins down to move your thighs forward. And press your arms down to lift your chest up. Then press your shins down again, lift yourself all the way back up, and sit back down on your heels. Or on the bolster. All right, let's do another one. Come up to kneeling. Take your hands back, squeeze your arms towards each other, lift your chest. Move your thighs any amount forward. Take your hands to your hips, lift your chest some more. Start to arch back. Reach for your support, whether it's your heels or a bolster. And then take your head back. Keep pressing your thighs forward. Think of moving the middle of the thigh forward. Keep lifting your chest towards the ceiling. Press down to come up. Sit back down on your heels. All right. So I'm going to show a couple different ways to get into the next pose. So if you have 2 blocks, that would be ideal. If not, I'll show a different way too. All right, so you could go from Dandasana. Sometimes we do this at the beginning of class. And the first block goes between the shoulder blades, and the second block goes under the head. These can be either on medium or on tall. Don't have your head block higher than your back block, but they could be the same height, like this, or like this. So that's one option. Another option is to do that same pose. This is more classic in Virasana. And if you don't have blocks, then you can just take whatever you have, pillows, and squish them up. And lie over like this. This is because not everyone has a chair. And it's good to do a few supported back bends. If you go get your chair, I won't tell anyone. Bob, can your knees come closer together? Yes. Now, if you have straight legs, press your thighs down. I mean, you can try to press your thighs down with bent knees too. It's just a little more difficult. Hello, puppy. Now the final pose of this has the arms interlocked at the elbow over the head. So if you're doing that, you're gonna have to change the interlock of the arms after you've been there for a bit. All right, come back up. However you need to do that. If your legs were bent, make sure you come up and sit in Dandasana for a minute. All right, Chatuspadasana. So lie on the floor with your hips next to your heels. So Doug, it's probably time to do a counter pose. If you need a counter pose for all those back bends. All right, everyone else, press your heels down, lift your hips, roll your shoulders under. Press your upper arms into the floor, press your heels into the floor to come up higher. Press down with the big toe side of your foot so that your knees don't splay. If you want to make this more difficult in some ways, you can place a block between your knees and squeeze the block between your knees. Or you don't even have to put a block there. You can just imagine squeezing the block between your knees, and you'll feel some activity come to the outer thighs or the inner thighs, depending on where you're stronger. Slowly lower your hips back down. All right, set up for shoulder stand, or whatever you do when other people do shoulder stands. So you could do bridge again with support. So support would be a block, a bolster. Yes. Come up when you're ready. Spend some time rolling your shoulders underneath. You're coming up into shoulder stand. Press your upper arms into the floor. Squeeze your legs towards each other. They don't even have to touch. You can still squeeze them towards each other. And use that to lift yourself up. At the same time, keep your neck and throat soft. Your jaw relaxed, your tongue resting into the base of your mouth. So it's kind of this movement back and forth. I press my upper arms down, and then I check my throat and my neck and say, okay, now you need to relax. And then when I relax, everything tends to relax a little bit. So then I have to bring my awareness back to my arms, my legs. Keep your eyes soft. You need variety in your life. You could take one leg down and Ekapada Salama Sarvangasana. Lift that leg back up. Reestablish Salama Sarvangasana or whatever pose you're doing. And then bring the other leg down. And lift that leg up. Bring both legs down to Halasana. Press your thighs up in Halasana. And then slowly roll out of the pose. Once you've been there for a few moments with your head kind of tilted back off the blanket pile, then move so that your shoulders are on the floor and your hips are on the blanket pile. And roll to your side and lift yourself back up. All right. Sit in Dandasana. Rotate to your right. Press down with your right hand to lift up. Pull with your left hand to turn. Return to the center. Lift up. With your next exhalation, turn to your left. Press down with your left hand to lift up. Pull with your right hand to turn. Then return to the center. Take your right ankle over your left knee. Flex your right foot. Bend your left knee. Remember that this foot is flexed. Yes. Move your right knee away from you as you bring the foot towards the opposite shoulder. You can also move your chest towards your foot. Then straighten that leg out. Switch sides. Flex your left foot. Bend your right knee. Move your knee away from you. Bring the foot closer to the shoulder, maybe. Or maybe the shoulder closer to the foot, maybe. Then release that leg down. All right. Take your feet sticky mat distance apart. Like this. And then bring your knee towards the opposite instep. And then let the other knee fall out. Okay. Then back to the center. And then the other side. And back to the center. Now just lie down and do that again. Because if you do it sitting up, you will slowly scooch forward. It has a different effect while you're laying down. So lie down and take your right knee towards your left instep, and it may not reach all the way there. And then take your left knee up to the side. You can also take your arms up, and that will give you just a little bit more of a stretch. The other thing that will give you more of a stretch is taking your left foot on top of your right knee. And come back to the center. Take your left knee towards your right foot. Then take your right leg over to the side. And stretch your arms above your head. And you can take your right foot on top of your left knee. And come back to the center. Hug both knees in. You can rock from side to side. And then for Shavasana today, I'm going to do the Arun Shavasana. So my hips are on support and my knees are coming towards me. And then for my neck, actually, I'm going to take a strap and put it behind my knees and behind my neck. Whoops, like this. So more for your back, the knees come more towards you. More from your neck, the knees go away from you. Your neck is part of your back, but your lower back is what I meant. That's knees going towards you. And you can feel that if you move your knees around. Deepen your breath. Release the strap from behind your knees. Support your head as you roll to your side. Roll a little further to your side and lift yourself back up to seated. Take your arms wide, lift your chest. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Think of something you're grateful for. Namaste. Thank you all for coming.